Yeah, Solid Hill TDS, what's up? Yeah, come on. I.O.W. Sports Network, late night edition. Let's go. Come on.
We about to raise the bar. Wild card mark. Everybody grab a seat, cause you know we about to spark. Late night sports talk. Modelo Le Cigar. Man, you don't wanna start. Wild card mark. We about to raise the bar. Wild card mark. Everybody grab a seat, cause you know we about to spark. Late night sports talk. Modelo Le Cigar. Man, you don't wanna start. Wild card mark. Hey. L Boogie with the hot flame, ashtray full of top names, little tree for your membrane. This the 9-hour time frame. I just snatched up a 6-pack, got my hands on a lid pack, whipping up a little batch of snacks. Yeah, man, I think I'm all set. Late night, can't sleep. Go ahead and just tap in. Better grab you a cold one, and we about to get some laps in. Wild card on the microphone, he'll hit you with a couple flurries. Y'all need to just strap in for some entertainment sports commentary. We about to raise the bar. Wild card bar. Everybody grab a seat, cause you know we about to spark. Late night sports talk. Modelo Le Cigar. Man, you don't wanna start. Wild card bar. We about to raise the bar. Wild card bar.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Y'all know what it is, man. We are back. We are back with another episode. Wild Card Mario. I'm in the building. I'm with my man Randy. It's Tuesday, so you know what that means. Yes, it's gonna be some shenanigans. Hey, y'all know what it do. Y'all make sure y'all like, share, subscribe. Hey, we'll get to continue our way too early win-loss predictions by division. The AFC West last night. Ended up doing a 3-hour show with my man Omar, but it's all good. I had a great show last night. We will not be doing 3 hours tonight. I'm with my got the brother Randy in the building. We'll recap the NFC East or way too early win-loss predictions for that division, of course, because I mean it's a Giants fan, so we'll kind of go over that schedule as well. But first, as you know, my man Randy is a Knicks fan, and if you just saw what happened, my man is not too happy. So I'm going to get the hell out the way, and I'm just going to let my man just unload the loaded clips that he has ready. And hey, floor is yours, bro. I'm just going to get the hell out the way. All right.
All right. So first of all, let me get my Sarah McLachlan on. If anybody has knees, bone marrow, any extra femurs, anything that they can donate for one Karl Anthony Towns, it would be much appreciated.
Wow.
You would be doing holy work, and I thank you. This for all of my cult of Brunsonians. This would be your monthly tithe. So please move forward and give graciously.
This is crazy, bro.
Now,
Crazy,
so yeah, no, what the fuck was this game? This was crazy. So many problems for anyone who hasn't seen yet. Pacers won. Now it's 3-1. I was planning on coming up here. I was planning on coming up here after the last game and celebrating and popping off with my brother and being like, hell yeah, absolutely. Karl Anthony Towns cannot be stopped. Well, apparently you can stop him if you run directly into his knee with your knee. So that's how apparently he gets stopped.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so basically the rundown of the game from the Knicks' perspective is transition defense was terrible. Pacers got a lot of buckets just by outpacing us in transition. A lot of unnecessary turnovers from the Knicks that were a big problem in their own right. Brunson had a really good game. I mean, despite people chanting flopper at him, which is really ironic. Like, maybe stop fouling him then.
Slightly ironic, right?
Yeah, ironic, especially considering how much flopping the Pacers do. But, you know, so their turnovers were a problem. Transition defense was a problem. Mikal Bridges was not good in this game. He had a couple of good. He had a couple of 3-pointers that were good in the fourth quarter, but for the most part, one thing that I had heard from somebody, Rusty Buckets on YouTube, for anybody who is interested for basketball analysis, one thing that he pointed out that I thought was interesting is he said OG and Bridges are either one of them is good and one of them is bad, or vice versa, almost every game. And I have thought about that, and I've been watching kind of for that, and I have noticed the pattern, because this was an OG game. OG was pretty good in this game. Bridges was terrible. Bridges disappeared for the most part, both offensively and defensively. Very inefficient game. He took a lot. Honestly, he was probably the biggest problem in the fourth quarter. He kept getting passes to him, and instead of waiting for a clean shot or passing it, he would just take the shot, even if he was being covered, even if he was off balance, regardless of where the shot clock was. I think he really did shoot us out of the fourth quarter. And I after game 3, so first of all, I want to put this on notice. I was the man on this show that had been like, yo, you should have a double big lineup to start with Cat and Mitchell Robinson, have Josh Hart come off of the bench, and they did that, and then they won. And yeah, I was coming on here to be like, hire me, fire Tibbs, hire me.
Yeah.
But
and it's funny that you say that, because when I was watching that game and I was hearing, and Mitchell Robinson had a hell of a game that night, I was like, Randy was 100% right. It felt, everything went into place on exactly how you called it, and then all of a sudden now they want to move Josh Hart to the bench. It's kind of like, I think you're a little bit too late, but I get what you're saying though. No, you called it right on the head though.
Yeah, and our bench had probably the best game of the entire postseason in game 3, and I was really hoping Tibbs wouldn't take the lesson from that DeLon Wright and Shamet need a lot of minutes. But apparently he did take that lesson from it, because DeLon Wright was in this game for the most minutes he's played in since being traded to the Knicks. Shamet was in for a long time, didn't really do much of anything.
Yeah.
So bad lesson from Tibbs in that regard. But yeah, I mean, just a lot of things didn't work. I mean, I'll talk about the positives. Brunson had a great game. Cat did also have a great game. OG was pretty good. Josh Hart did have a lot of turnovers. He also had a lot of rebounds that he fought for, and really did save a lot of possessions. So, kind of a mixed bag there. Game 5 is going to be tough. I mean, I thought that
Randy, don't do that, Randy. You guys got to win now. All right.
Oh no, we got to win now. I get it, but I'm trying to be realistic and think, like, how do we win that? Because one thing that the Knicks have always done in this season is, if they're up going into the fourth quarter, they're probably going to lose. If they're down, there's a good chance they're going to win. And this was really the first time that they've come from behind and weren't able to close it out. I mean, not the first time, but like one of the few. So, I mean, maybe just another Brunson hero ball game in the fourth quarter is what we need. I know that people don't like that. I know that all the analysts are like, oh, you can't win that way, but we did win that way. So yeah. Especially with the team where our defense is better than theirs. If you can't stop Brunson, and it'll work.
I'll be honest with you. I think what really killed you guys today, obviously you talked about the transition and all that. When you came up with that idea of putting the big guys on the floor with Cat and Mitchell Robinson, I thought that was the best way to combat how the Pacers are. And the reason why I say that is because slow it down. I mean, if you really saw this game was really, I hate to say it, I thought it was over in first quarter. And here's why I say this, is because if Indiana really kind of clean up some of their shot selection between like middle of the third, going into early fourth, if they clean up some of their shot selection, this is a blowout by at least like 30, 40 points. Because the fact of the matter is, they put up 43 in their first quarter at a crazy, insane pace. They are not good as a run some type of offense on like if half court. If you slow them down and make them like get set, like they are not a good offensive team doing that shit. All right, they like to run. That's the Pacers. I mean, literally, they're dying by their namesake. They are trying to set the pace. And what killed the Knicks tonight is the first quarter. The moment that the Pacers started running, I was like, "Oh shit, they about to turn this bitch into a track meet. That's not good."
Yeah, and you're right. That is exactly how they won. They would get the ball, they would outpace the Knicks, and then they would just score in transition. And yeah, I mean that was the big thing about bringing Mitch onto the floor is the way the Pacers win is by trading baskets.
Yeah.
Because they will go back and forth. They're not going to get a lot of stops, but they will get a lot of scores. So what you have to do to match them is don't play the game of trading baskets, but get the stops. And Mitch is the best one on our team at doing that.
And he's a great rebounder. So even if you come up short on the offensive side, he can get you those second chance opportunities. He can also just go ahead and potentially turn a lot of those Pacers possessions into one and dones. Because, like I said, there was a point in time in that game where I thought they was just bullshitting with you guys about that third quarter halfway through, because they came out hot in the third quarter and tried to shut the door on you guys quick, and I thought they was fucking around. And then you guys started to go on a run and started to close that gap. But I think when you in that situation, you can just go ahead if Mitchell Robinson can help clean up that glass on both ends, whether it's offensive, defensively, and help slow it down, take the air out the ball. You guys got to muck it up. Knicks got to muck it up. You can't let these dudes get it. Sometimes, even if you get a little bit physical, by all means. We seen how the refs are really reffing these playoffs, and they're kind of letting them get physical. So I would say get as physical as you can, and as long as they let you, and just slow it down.
Yeah, I mean they let the teams get physical, but they obviously do. They do have their favorites, and I'm not gonna make this whole thing about the refs. The refs aren't the reason why the Knicks lost, but there were some BS calls.
There were some. And I'm glad that, and even if you weren't going to bring it up, I was, because I thought there were some calls, whether both ways. I'm just saying for me, because I don't have a dog in this fight. I just thought that the refs were just inconsistent.
Very inconsistent. And even the announcers, Reggie Miller of all commentators, even multiple times pointed out, there was one point in the third quarter where OG had been hard fouled. They didn't call it. And then they called a foul on OG immediately after. And even, I think it was Reggie Miller who had said, that wasn't a foul on OG. And then Josh Hart fell just because he tripped into a guy, because they had both were grabbing each other and fell down together, and they called it as a foul on Hart.
There were some calls that Benedict was getting. I'm like, yo, this guy is falling to the ground. And Hart didn't touch him. There were some couple ticky-tack little things I didn't understand. I think Josh Hart got slapped in the face on his last foul that got him fouled out. Yeah. I didn't understand that. I mean, how did you miss that? Dude, Josh Hart literally got smacked in the face.
Yeah, for real. And then, meanwhile, I think it was Nesmith was allowed to just jump on Brunson while he was down. Step on him, and Brunson managed to get the ball away from himself. But if you watch I think it was the third quarter, Nesmith is just literally jumping on Brunson, no foul at all, right? It's if you want physical, I'm down for physical, but be consistent with it.
Be consistent with it, because I was noticing that trend tonight for sure. I was like, no matter if you were in control or just. Regardless, I think as long as you were aggressive going to the cup and just kind of make it look like you're throwing up for a shot, they were going to give you the call. That's what it kind of seemed like, whether both ways. And there's some of them that kind of just didn't make sense. I was like, these refs are just, I don't know what. It's weird. It was just a very, definitely a in my opinion, very inconsistent refereed game tonight, and I don't.
The refs did a shit job. Like the refs do. Like the refs are just the NBA refs are just bad at their jobs. There was one out of bounds that had like very obviously bounced off of Halliburton, but it was called as Pacers ball. Like
Yeah.
there's just crazy mistakes and crazy inconsistencies, and that's one of the big reasons why the ratings are bad for the NBA. It's not consistent. They blow the whistle way too much.
Way too much. Oh my gosh, it's really starting to piss me off.
What?
These stupid ass challenges that are slowing the game down, and I'm like, the hell is going on? Like, I hate it for the NFL. I literally do. I hate challenges for the NFL because I understand the point of it and I understand the premise of it. What I'm saying is I hate the process of why is it taking so damn long and it's slowing down the pace of the game, and especially if you are on the offense or whatever, and you got momentum and you're trying to get in your groove and everything's gonna get slowed the hell down. I'm just like, oh, so now crap in basketball. I'm like, I'm like, what are we doing? Like everything's getting challenged, like. And then you can overturn and find the foul that wasn't there, and now there's a foul. What are we doing? I don't understand the whole process of the challenges with the NBA. I'm not a fan of it because now I feel like they're trying to expand over year and year, and I'm just like, I need y'all to decrease. I don't need y'all to expand. I need y'all to decrease. It's just ridiculous.
So I'm going to push back a little because I think that it's important for teams to be able to challenge the calls, especially considering how much we have said how bad the calls have been. There needs to be some check on their ability to make BS calls.
Fair.
Yeah.
You got me.
But what I will say to that is I think the way you fix it isn't getting rid of the challenge. I think the way you fix it is making less rules, less things that need to be challenged. Allow hand checking, allow more physical play. Don't have if like every couple of possessions ends up with a foul, then you've already slowed down the game so much that people are already intolerant of the challenge. That's expanding it more, even though it's usually like at most 2 a game. But like it's because we've seen the game be stopped and started through every foul, like once every couple of possessions up to that point.
Yeah, that's where I'm at, Corey. Like I'm good.
Just hurry the fuck up. Exactly, Corey. That's exactly what I think. That's the problem is how long they take with it. That I agree with you on.
That's just kind of, I think that's just where I'm at with that. And it has nothing to do with the actual what you can challenge or like you said, if they want to minimize the rules, cool. And like I just feel like right now you can challenge every fucking thing, and it's kind of like you're really slowing it down. I'm like, come on, like let's go. Like especially if I'm the Pacers and you know that you want to play fast pace. Hey man, can y'all hurry this challenge shit up so we can get back to the game? Like, come on.
That's the thing. Like the challenge doesn't need to take as long as it does. You could just have it be reviewed once on each angle by the people in New York that watch it, right? Like
they got 1 million cameras, Randy. Make that damn decision to come the fuck on. Let's go.
Yeah, exactly. Just one view from each angle, make a decision, move on.
Yeah.
I think that would be the way to solve that.
These motherfuckers got to look at this angle, that angle, camera 2,553 angles. Then they got to look at camera 899 angle. Then they got to look at the eye in the sky, and then they got to have a write a whole monologue and dissertation on what the hell they saw. And I'm like, yo, hey man, what we doing, bro? Like,
there also needs to be some sort of check on the referees, some sort of something for them that's on the line if they basically ruin or determine a game with bad calls. The fact that they can just get away with it is also a big problem. That there's no, like, they'll call whatever because it doesn't really matter for them.
Yeah.
Right. Like if they review at the end of the game, how many times have, even in this postseason, have the refs come out and been like, yeah, our bad. And and sorry, we decided the game with a bad call.
Oh Lord. Yeah.
Like they came out and I think it was in game 2 with the missed goaltending on us, and they were like, yeah, our bad. We messed that up. It was like, okay, but like,
what does that do for me?
Yeah, it's like, exactly. What does it do for me? It doesn't do anything.
Nah, it does absolutely jack shit, and that's why I'm like kind of one of those things where, this is not just in basketball. Obviously, I think the worst is MLB with those umpires, how they get away with the worst, calls and. But NFL, all of them got bad calls in all the sport entities. What they should do is, since they put the players and the coaches in the spotlight after games, and hey man, y'all need to start having some referee press conferences. You need to start pressing these motherfuckers.
Yep.
Start pressing them. I'm just saying, put them on blast, because I'm the type of person where if you put me on blast, I'm willing to change because I feel embarrassed.
Yeah. No, it's true. They put them on blast, make it clear. We should know who the refs are, right? Like the refs' names, almost nobody knows the names of the refs. If they make a fuck up, let the league be like, insert ref is the one that fucked it up. They have been penalized in insert way, because it's disadvantageous for the league themselves.
Yeah.
Right? Like they look bad when games get decided like this. They would probably get better ratings without all of this BS ref stuff that nobody's happy with.
Cleaner games for sure.
Yeah, quicker games, also not being stopped and started constantly.
Yeah, definitely cleaner games. Because my thing is, if you make motherfuckers at that point, it's about your pride, your reputation, especially reputation. Hey, I would definitely be quick to change how my perception. Like, hey, all right, I got to do better as a referee. All right, cool. All right, I'm gonna make sure that I'm in position to make sure I can see the right calls. I make sure that I got to do what I got to do. If I got to go get to the eye doctor, get the right prescription on my glasses, get LASIK, so be it. If I got to not eat a couple of those extra slices of pound cake that I love so much, and then so be it. I might have to put a Modelo down or two and not drink it. All right, I might have to step away from it. I'm just saying, hold these referees accountable. Have some pride about your occupation. I mean, if we scrutinize these players and coaches as fans and sports commentators and all that shit, the same thing should be done for the refs. Because, like you said, these are calls that you're making that are going to be important. They're going to be important.
Yeah, how many series have been decided because of a bad call or two? Like what would the timeline be like if every call was right?
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, you got to start holding these cats accountable. I mean, that's just hell. That should translate to dealing with shit in real life. Imagine we start holding motherfuckers accountable from the White House all the way down to House of Representatives, Senate, your local aldermen.
Yeah, it's the same. It's the same shit. It's just like, well, if nothing's gonna happen to them, why would they stop?
Okay, exactly. So I mean, but refs, they got to do better. But I just thought this. But if we're just keeping it a buck on just basketball, just the moment that the Knicks just couldn't slow them down.
Yeah, I don't think the refs decided the game. Like the bad calls were annoying. Maybe it would have been closer, but I don't think they decided the game.
Jim make bad calls. Stop making bad. Well, I mean,
facts.
Yeah, facts. Yeah, got to chill out sometimes. So, but no, that had nothing to do with what's going on. So I'm just gonna put you on the spot, bro. I mean, what do your Knicks got to do to come out of this hole, man? At least you get to go back to the Garden, so that works out in your favor. But you guys gotta pick up that shovel. Got to get 3 in a row, man. How do the Knicks get it done, man?
That's, I mean, a big part of it. First of all, I'm still going hard with the Mitch and Cat lineup. If Cat's healthy, I mean, he came back onto the floor after the collision, so he, after a rest of 2 days, he should be okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm sticking with that lineup because we saw it work when they were doing it. Brunson hero ball. slow down the pace. Someone talk to Bridges and tell him like unless the shot clock is at 1,
Oh my goodness.
you don't need to take a shot even if you're sideways.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so have that conversation with him.
Hey, can I ask you a question? And we'll get back to this and how the Knicks can get this 3 in a row. I need to have a quick sidebar with you about Mikal Bridges, man. When I saw that you guys were acquiring Mikal Bridges, I thought you were actually getting that Mikal Bridges that was a nice solid piece for Phoenix Suns, and then he went to Brooklyn in the KD trade, and he got lost in the solid player role because he was stuck in Brooklyn and they weren't going nowhere, and he was putting up crazy numbers. I thought you guys were getting that guy. I thought you guys were getting the penetrating mid-range assassin Mikal Bridges, play solid defense Mikal Bridges. What I'm seeing what y'all got is roller coaster Mikal Bridges, and I don't know if that's something that you guys should you should possibly entertain him. I might who want him? What can we get for him? I would possibly entertain it. It just look like it's not gonna work out. I mean, what's your thoughts on this, Mikal?
Well, so I've said before, I said before on the pod that our biggest problem is bench depth, and there's a good chance that we'll need to give one of our starters to try to get not Brunson and not Cat, but one of the other starters. I don't want to give Josh Hart either. I also don't know how much he'd acquire, but so it would be either Bridges or OG, right? So
keep OG. I think you keep OG.
Yeah, I think so too. If I had to pick, I'm keeping OG, but those would be the two that you would talk about.
Oh yeah, I would think so too. Yeah.
Bridges, like you said, has been a roller coaster. He was really important in that Celtics series. He was really good in that Celtics series
defensively, but I mean, I wouldn't.
And the mid shot, the midi, like
yeah. Okay, that's fair.
Yeah, he was really good with that too. But he is inconsistent, and I don't know if the fact that he was a role player in the Suns and then was the main guy in the Nets who weren't doing anything made him look better. Sure. I think that the fact because more volume.
Nothing. Yeah, no. To your point, when you're the man on a not shit team, like, all right, come on, all right, yeah,
right, okay. Yeah, you're gonna get the higher volume because there aren't a lot of other people to take those shots, and also nobody's really looking at you anyway. Yeah. So good. Yeah. It also may have just been the situation may have just fit him better. I'm not really sure what the problem is. But he is a good two-way player. He is an Iron Man who's always there.
Yeah.
I'm not 100% sure. If the price is good, then do it. But I don't know if you need to necessarily say like we have to move on from him. I don't think it's the kind of situation where you're just like, this guy is an anchor. I don't think he's that, but I think you can get good value and good depth for him. And if the price is good, take it.
Without a doubt. And I wasn't trying to make it seem like you have to. I'm just saying explore.
Yeah.
It's because when you have something that is inconsistent, that scares me. I don't like inconsistent shit. All right.
Yes.
And that, to me, that bothers me. Inconsistency is one of the most not so good qualities about life that will absolutely drive me out the fucking wall.
Agreed. I'm the same way. I totally get it. You got to with a player, you have to know what you have in a player, what you're putting out there.
I got to know what I got. All right. So if knowing what I got is inconsistent, then that still leaves me with I still don't know what I got. So and then I'll let that be somebody else's fucking problem. You deal with it. And because you don't ignore the potential or the full potential of what the roster could operate with when he's on the good part. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Because I love what he does defensively. Like he literally put the period on 2 games on that comeback in that Boston series with 2 great defensive stops. So I'm not poo-pooing on what his abilities are, I'm poo-pooing on the fact that if Brunson doesn't have it going and Cat is struggling, and I need between OG and Mikhail to like, you still got two solid options past Brunson and Cat that should still be contributing at least damn near 15 to 20 points per night to help you get past teams like this.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, I need that consistent 15 to 20. You can add in 7 assists, 5, 6 rebounds, cool. But I need consistency, and I need you to be efficiency, and for the most part, be there when your dogs need them, because there's targets on Brunson back, there's target on Cat's back. You're gonna need some guys to step up, and I need to know that you're gonna be there. If all else fails, option 1 and option 2 is not an option right now. I need somebody to be option damn it 3, and Mikal Bridges has the ability to be that third option, no problem. And I just need it on a consistent basis. That's all.
Yeah, and we also would have to see, because I mean, there's still talks about whether Tibbs is coming back next season. And that's still up in the air. You know, I
Feel
have
about
very, very mixed thoughts on that. But let's say we were to do it, and let's say we were to get Mike Malone, right? Could Mike Malone get the most optimal, most consistent value out of Bridges? Is it a scheme thing? Is it the fact that he's running so many minutes every game? Because I know that he's an Iron Man, right? But like everybody eventually has a limit.
Yeah.
Is that part of it? Would he be better if the team was deeper and rotated him in and out more? Like if a coach could be like, all right, you just missed a couple shots in a row. Let's get you on the bench. Let's snap you out of it and then send you back out there, because we have somebody to step in that we trust for like a 15 minutes a game.
I'm gonna give you a good analogy on why I think Mike Malone would possibly be the best candidate for the New York Knicks, and why he should be your next coach. Imagine if you use Karl-Anthony Towns like he did Jokic in that 2023 season.
Yeah.
Just ponder on that just for a second. He uses Karl-Anthony Towns as your point guard like he did Jokic for that 2023 season. He would use Brunson as a more upgraded Jamal Murray. All right. He would have KCP would be your Mikal Bridges. You can have your Aaron Gordon be your OG.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you can think of some of those same players and same styles that the Denver Nuggets did in 2023 to win that championship as a complete team that was ran through a talented point guard big, and defensively of what that does for you, and how that runs offensively. Because Karl-Anthony Towns has the talent to do what Jokic does.
Do you think he has the facilitate? Like, he has the shooting talent and the scoring talent for sure. Do you know? I don't know. Jokic is a generational facilitator. I have questions of maybe if Cat could replicate that. Cat's a good facilitator. He's not a bad one, especially for a big guy. I could see that for sure. When
you are such an offensive threat to shoot like Cat is, especially behind the arc, and if they have to crash down and double down on you, it makes it easy to facilitate, because all you got to do is just watch where the second guy is coming from and put the ball where it's supposed to go. You're not asked to do like Magic Johnson shit and no look all the time. Mm-hmm. And you just make the right play. Honestly, I think that can be something that could obviously be explored if I was Knicks brass, and be like, hey, Mike Malone, what was your theory about how you use Jokic and how you facilitated to move the basketball? I mean, why not? I wouldn't say you would probably wonder about the facilitating the passing abilities. Obviously, with Jokic, there's a step down, yes. But if you don't explore that, if you can't explore that, then I don't know how you're not still at least go crazy with the high pick and roll with Cat and Brunson, and use that as your starting point of your offense. You got to start doing something to, innovate this team. And I just think Mike Malone would, all jokes aside, he would use more than 9 guys in the baseball game.
Yeah, no, and I think that's a good point. I lean more in that direction with the pick and roll option. I think that using Cat as a play finisher, because one thing also with that is Brunson is so ball dominant, right? Like Brunson always wants to have the ball. He wants to take it down the court, and then he wants to either shoot it or slither in the paint, right?
He plays better with the ball in his hand, all right?
Right, which is very, a natural way to play for a point guard, especially, right. And he's kind of like a 1/2 guard in the sense because he'll also take the shots.
Yes.
It's kind of very Steph-like.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that the way that you could optimize that, you could do a lot of pick and roll. Cat has gotten more physical since being on the Knicks. If you can get him posting up guys, because he has the height, he has the size. If you have the shooting threat of Brunson, OG, and Bridges all on the perimeter, you have Hart as the glue, or you have Mitch as your offensive rebound guy to get those second chance points, and then you have Cat as your post up guy, right? Yeah. Like you can absolutely make that work, right? But yes, I do think they need to experiment, because one of the biggest problems with our offense right now is that it's very predictable. And a big part of that is the fact that the lineup rarely changes. And it's also the way Tibbs coaches. Like his schemes are, exactly what every guy is going to do. That's why the Knicks cliche of Brunson hero ball is such a thing.
Yeah. I mean, you're looking at it at damn near in particular this series, because the fact of the matter is, because of the pace of the Pacers are they're forcing you guys to kind of get out of character a little bit right now. That's just the fact that that's just the nature of the beast we're at right now, and that's why you're down 3-1. They are not letting you guys play Knick ball. You guys are stuck in the middle of trying to play catch up ball, which is Pacers ball.
Yep.
You can't. That's when you get outside your character, shit just looks different, and it's looking like this. And I mean, you guys have been for the most part been playing catch up, especially in this game. Like they definitely playing catch up in this game. It was kind of trying to catch your breath, trying to keep pace, and man, y'all better find a way to slow these boys down. God damn.
Yeah, and I think I think utilizing a lot of Mitch is probably If there is a way to do it, that probably is the way to at least mitigate the damage.
No, you got to. The best way to slow down speed and finesse is physicality. That's always the name of the game.
Yeah, and also dive into everyone's knees. I think that's something we should probably think about exploring. I mean, they're doing it. Like Neesmith, straight up knee to knee, and Cat, knee to knee him back. Neesmith's. I don't know if Neesmith is coming back, but if he does come back, hit him in his Neesmith.
Hey man, that was the worst thing that happened to Jalen Brunson tonight, was him playing and have him guard Jalen Brunson. He made him work tonight, boy. Whew. He made him work. God.
Yeah, I mean, I remember the commentators even said that. It's just like Brunson, when he came back, it's just like he's just happy to have anybody but Neesmith guarding him, and it's true. It's 100% true.
Neesmith was in that man's pocket. I was like, God damn.
Yeah, it's rough. It's I mean, that's kind of one of the negatives of having like a smaller guard. Like he can get past bigger players better than almost any guard in the NBA, right? But like it's a lot of size you're giving up, and they're not going to put Halliburton on him, because why would you do that? So everyone, I mean, Neidhart is probably around his size, right? But that's why they don't have him. That's why they have Neesmith do it.
Man, look, I hate to say this. Okay, no, I don't hate to say this. I hate to emphasize this, I should say. And I really didn't think about it until you just said it a second ago, when you said there's question marks on if Tibbs is going to come back. And then I'm kind of looking at how Rick Carlisle is kind of giving this man a coaching clinic right now. And I'm kind of like, Yeah, kind of makes sense what you're talking about.
Also, side note that I just thought about. Do you think that Neidhart looks not Neidhart? Do you think that he looks a little bit like Dominic Mysterio if he had braids? Because I think he does. And that thought just popped into my head, and I felt like I should share it.
All right, it's a good night. Hey, man, it's been wonderful. That was absolutely Oh, I can't unsee it.
No, dude, I want all of our viewers to go and Google both of their pictures and tell me I'm wrong.
Unsee it now. I am that fucking up, bro. You hell for that, bud.
Look, I'm mad, man. I'm crashing out. I'm taking everyone with me.
Well, we're gonna try to make you feel a little bit better, because it's about that time, man. We're gonna do the way too early predictions for the NFC East. I did the AFC West with my brother Omar last night. He's a Raiders fan. I actually gave him his Raiders a little bit more love than he would, but I was trying to explain to him. I'm like, look at your first 7 games. There should be no reason why you guys shouldn't be 5-2 going into your bye week, but that's for another conversation. I'll let you guys look at the Raiders schedule. But
before we go into it, I just want to know what were the for each of the AFC West teams, what were the predictions?
All right, I got you right here.
What did you pick for your Chiefs?
All right, so I went 9-8 Raiders, 9-8 Broncos, 9-8 Chargers, and 13-4 Chiefs.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. So I'll let people take a look through their own schedules. You guys can jump in the comments on last night's episode and talk all this shit to me as much as you want, and then I'll take the heat. But that's what I came up with. Hey, let's get this shit cracking for the one time for the NFC East. And we're gonna start with Randy's New York Giants had a 3-14 season last year. Kick it off, my brother. How you feeling opening up the week at nation's capital at Washington? How you feeling?
So I have a feeling one of my predictions for this coming season is that the Commanders are going to be kind of similar to what the Bengals were last season, which is all of their games are shootouts because their quarterback is making up for their defensive issues.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't get an edge in the offseason, which was their biggest issue. They did get Trey Amos in the draft, who I thought was a really good choice for a cornerback, but I do expect their defense to still be below average because they haven't really done much to change that. And Jaden Daniels, while he was obviously great last year, similar to with CJ Stroud, I think that we might see a little bit of a slump just because teams are prepared for him. I do still have the Commanders winning this game just because the discrepancy at quarterback is still pretty massive. The discrepancy in offense overall is massive.
Yeah.
But you could end up with a game where Daniels is getting stopped by the defense and Russ is able to do just enough to cross it out because the defensive gap is at least as big as the offensive gap in the opposite direction. So I'm gonna go Commanders here, but I don't think it's a foregone conclusion.
Yeah, it's not going to be one of those. I'll give, just because the benefit of the doubt is division, it'll be a close game. But yeah, I'm with that same conclusion. I don't think guys still got the answer at quarterback, but it is what it is. But
that one's the one where they're at home, right?
Yeah.
Okay. That's all right. That's what I would have expected. Okay.
So that's it. Nation's capital. Man, you guys got 2 back-to-back division games on the road. Then you go to Dallas. Man, that's tough, bro.
Yeah. So Dallas's run defense is still pretty bad. I think it will probably be better than it was with some of the moves that they've made. I liked Donovan Ezaraku. I don't know how. I don't know how much if it will have improved. I think getting George Pickens to put across CeeDee Lamb is going to be pretty nasty.
Yeah, it's pretty nasty, bro.
Dak is coming off of an injury though, so I think that the Giants are going to win this one, and I think that we're probably going to split with the Cowboys.
Really?
But I think that Russ can perform on a comparable level to Dak, and I think that our defense is significantly better than theirs. So I think that's going to be the difference there.
Okay. Man, another tough game. You guys coming to Kansas? No, you guys get Chiefs at home. That's your home opener.
Yeah. Tell them to not make it too brutal, please. Yeah, we're not beating the Chiefs. Yeah.
Let's move on. Chargers. You got Chargers at home. That's week 4.
I don't think we're beating the Chargers either, and I actually think that, and I know that I've kind of been I've been a consistent buyer of the Chargers. I've been consistently getting scammed by the Chargers when I buy into them. I do think the Chargers are going to win more than 9 games, but I also think that they're going to win. They're more than good enough to beat the Giants. The quarterback play is much better. They had the best defense in the NFL last year, and it should still be at least up there this year. There's no reason it wouldn't be. Yeah, I mean, that's it. I don't think that the Chargers are going to win. I think Chargers are going to win, and I don't think it's going to be particularly close, unfortunately.
Yeah, I hear that. No, and then I think you guys definitely get this game at the Saints.
Yeah. I think the Saints will probably be the worst team in the NFL. That's my prediction.
Damn.
I think Tyler Shuck and Spencer Rattler are both going to be embarrassing, and the rest of the roster is just not good enough to make up for that gap. Unless Shuck is the next Brock Purdy, the next unexpected, really good winning quarterback. But even then, those quarterbacks had great systems. The Saints don't have a great system. They don't even have a particularly good system. So I think either the Saints or the Colts, probably the Saints are going to be the worst team in the NFL, and I think that we got that one.
More division games. Philly.
Shit. I don't want to pick the Eagles to beat us. I'd rather be delusional, but that they're gonna win. Unless Russ goes back to Seahawks Russ, I don't see happening. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I mean, you guys got go to Denver. Jeez, Denver's team.
Toughest schedule in the NFL. So, I think the Broncos are also going to win. Sean Payton's coaching has been great. That O-line, that defense, Bo Nix has played well. Now they have more weapons. I think that's going to be another pretty clear loss.
Damn.
I don't want to pick the Eagles to sweep us.
That's week 8. Oh my goodness.
All right. Okay, hold on. Okay, so I'm just gonna skip past the Eagles because obviously I'm not.
All right. Okay.
Just to beat the Eagles, but
week 9.
Week 9's winnable. Week 9 is winnable. The 49ers are very heavily depleted. Brock Purdy does fall apart when he doesn't have a perfect system around him, and I know that he only lost Debo on offense, but still, with Debo was really important for his offense in the years that he played well. Trent Williams is going to be in and out of injury. CMC may end up being in and out of injury. The defense has been absolutely just ravaged. like by vultures. There's so much of it has been taken away, and they're filling it with rookies. I don't think they had a particularly good draft, so I don't think that highly of the rookies they took.
Yeah.
So for all of those reasons, I think we're going to beat the 49ers. I think that our defense is going to be so much better than theirs. And I think that Russ can play comparable to Brock Purdy if he doesn't have the perfect situation around him.
Wow. That's bold. I don't know. It's just something about I get what you're saying about the 49ers, but man, I just got a feeling, man, they're like, it's something about like when you're up, and then they fall, and then next thing you know, when people start counting them out, they jump back to like, so, and that's happened like the last time after they lost that first Super Bowl to Kansas City, and they kind of I think they missed the playoffs the next year, but then they were right back in the thick of things like a couple of years, and then they lost to Philly. Then they was back in the Super Bowl. So it's kind of like, you know, soon as cats start counting them out, like, bam, and here they come. So like they had the down year last year. I think like this is the last coup de grace because obviously Debo's gone. I think Trent Williams' career is starting to come down to an end. I know you re-signed Kittle and gave him the biggest money ever in tight end history. Cool, but you know he's also injury prone. You can't lie on that. And you know,
it sounds like you're arguing for my position. It sounds like you're arguing for the Giants.
No, I am. But what I'm saying is when you start looking at all these factors of the last coup de grace, their last dance, I think this is their last dance.
Well, like, so remember why the 49ers had such a bad year last year? It was because they lost a bunch of players.
Yeah. Injuries.
And now they permanently lost a bunch of players. So, I mean, if Trent Williams and CMC and Kittle and I.O.W are all healthy and the rookies end up being Shanahan'd into quality starters, which is totally possible because they're being coached by Shanahan.
Yeah.
They could end up being a good team. I just think that considering they had a better roster and they still picked in the top 10 last year. And granted, that was, you know, injuries and all of that was probably the biggest reason why. Especially because of the players that happened to be injured, but a lot of their best players, especially on defense, are gone now.
Yeah. So you know what? I can rock with you. Because I really, at some point, the money that you guys invested in that defensive line, y'all got to get after this shit, bro.
And our secondary is also much better than it was getting a Debo and getting Holland. Like they lost Travarius Ward. They're relying on a rookie to replace him. That's it's on both levels of the defense have been hurt pretty dramatically.
And you know what? I'm a double back. Why can't y'all get Caleb Williams, punk ass? Why not?
I think the Bears are going to be the wild card, the dark horse for this coming season. I think that they're going to be the team that turns it around. I think that Ben Johnson is going to coach his ass off. I know that it's his first time being a head coach, but he's already done such a great job. The way that he's rebuilt the O-line, Caleb Williams addressed exactly what needed to be addressed. Now he has a crazy set of weapons. The defense was already very good, and he's added more to it on top of that.
Yeah, but here's what sucks. Here's what really sucks for me about Ben Johnson. All right, he took a job in a division that he's been coaching in for the last 4 or 5 years. They know you, bro. And I know he's had some success, but he can get got. And what I'm saying is that when you've been in a position where we know you, like he didn't go nowhere else. He just went down the street, bro. We know you. That's the only thing that I gotta probably a pushback on him getting hired in Chicago is because the fact that both the Bears organization, the Vikings, the Packers, the Lions, they know Ben Johnson. It's kind of like they've been in these wars for so long. It's going to produce good football. It will. But what I'm saying is that is it going to be able to produce winning football, because the Packers still been part of getting some success in that division. The Vikings been getting to the playoffs. I know I get it. The Lions, they've had some success too, but nobody's really taking control of that division or been able to even crack the Super Bowl. So
right, and for the past couple of years, it's been the Lions division. But as you're pointing out, like the teams around them have gradually also gotten better. So
yeah,
it's not like the Lions are safe. They're not sitting on top of them like a throne, right? Like there are opportunities for that spot to be taken.
yes,
Especially now that Ben Johnson isn't going to be there. So and the defensive coordinator, the one that went to the Jets.
Aaron Glenn, yeah.
Yeah, Aaron Glenn. They lost both of them.
Yeah.
How good are these new coordinators going to be?
We don't know what the Lions are.
Right. We don't know what they are. Yeah, we don't know how much, because Dan Campbell wasn't a particularly experienced coach when he got that job. So how much of that was Johnson and Glenn? How much of it was him? We're about to find out. And yes, this being Ben Johnson's first head coaching position, we're also going to find out on his end. So I get what you're saying. I still think that the Bears, Caleb Williams clearly has the potential to be a really good quarterback. There's a reason why he was picked first overall.
He does.
He had a horrible O-line. And the O-line also destroyed their run game. So I don't think the issue was Caleb. They had someone who the previous year was a Pro Bowler with top 5 rushing stats. And then he gets behind the Bears O-line and people are looking to get rid of him, right? Like it's the O-line, and they did a lot to fix it. I think that Caleb has the talent, and as long as Caleb is good, at least good, the Bears have a really good roster around him, both offensively and defensively, and the coaching taking what has to, just because it's not Eberflus anymore, has to be a massive improvement.
Massive upgrade.
Yeah. So I think the Bears are beating my Giants, and I think that they're my dark horse for this year.
Okay. I'm gonna stick with you guys still getting the dub until Caleb Williams proves it. Then I'm still rocking with you guys.
I hope you're right.
Getting after it. Because okay. Before we get to week 11, Brian Daboll is on the clock for me.
Me too. And also for John Mara, he's basically said so out loud.
I'm just saying, bro, because it's like it's like this is it, bro. Like you got to either get the job done, or we just gonna future endeavor this joint. Like what's good, like
100%.
Yeah. So Packers, that's a tough one. Again, Jordan Love. It is a home game.
Okay. I think this is winnable for the Giants.
I think so too.
And this is why. I think Jordan Love has been overrated. I think that I don't think he's a bad quarterback. I think he's better than Russ, is at least at this point. But he's a very inconsistent quarterback. The last time we played the Packers, we beat them with Tommy DeVito. Now, I know that was 2 years ago. So I know that we can't necessarily say they're both teams are clearly very different teams. But the Packers have a good but inconsistent quarterback. They have a solid defense. They don't have a very good wide receiver core. The person that they are expecting to be their wide receiver 1 is a rookie who was mostly taken on upside, not already proven production. Xavier McKinney is great. Josh Jacobs is great, and Jair Alexander can be great when he's there, which is another thing. They didn't even get another corner. So if Jair goes down, their secondary is just Xavier McKinney.
Yeah.
I think this roster has more holes than people see, and I think the reason why is because Matt LaFleur is a really good coach, and he has made the team look better than the roster should be. But I don't think that they're good enough to beat what I think will probably end up being one of the best defenses, if not the best in the NFL. And Russ basically just has to be competent with a defense that's working as well as I think the Giants as well. So I think the Giants take the Packers.
I think so too. I just think you guys are going to be a little bit more scrappier than what people are going to give you credit for, and you guys are going to be a defensive-led team until you figure out how you're going to, operate your offense,
Yeah,
or find your quarterback for sure. So, obviously Malik Neighbors is obviously, freaking nature what he is.
Yes,
and I love. Oh my God!
incredible.
My goodness. LSU and Ohio State are starting to become some of the premier colleges, just dropping out some of these wide receivers.
The last wide receiver we got from them was OBJ, who with us was projected to be one of the best wide receivers of all time. So, he
produced for the Giants.
He did. Yeah. When he was with us, that was his trajectory.
Yeah, he produced for the Giants. I mean, my goodness, it was what 3 or 4 consecutive thousand.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can't remember. He put up crazy numbers, and then once he got that first ACL, that's when it kind of turned.
Yeah, and then he was on a boat, and then he went to the Browns, which is where players go to die. And he's one of my most interesting what ifs in sports. Like, what would have happened had a couple of these things not happened? Because OBJ should have been a top 10 wide receiver of all time. Like, that was his trajectory. It looked pretty clearly like that's what was going to happen.
His numbers were starting to go crazy.
Yeah. So I think that could be an interesting future episode if we kind of explore like sports what ifs. That's maybe something that we could talk about.
No doubt. Lions
are beating us.
You can get this game right here, week 13 at New England. I have no faith in New England, and you guys got a favorable bye right there, 14. I know it's going to suck till you get it, but it's so where it's placed in the season is perfect. So it's like bam, right there, week 14. So you can go ahead for that last stretch of the season. Week 15, how you feeling about it?
So just to talk a little on the Patriots. I think the Giants are going to win that. The Patriots have made a lot of good moves. Drake May looks good. They have done work on the O-line. They've done work on the defense. Getting Will Campbell in the draft and Morgan Moses should at least claw their O-line from being the worst in the NFL to at least just somewhat below average.
Yeah.
Just because the interior still hasn't been fixed, but it shouldn't be as bad as it was. Getting guys like Milton Williams on the defense, Christian Gonzalez, if he can stay healthy, like their team shouldn't be as bad as it was, but they were clawing themselves from being the worst roster in the NFL. And I just don't think you fix that in one off season, even if Drake May ends up being good. Stephon Diggs is good when he's there, but he's made of glass. And he was already transitioning to a wide receiver too before going there. So for those reasons, I think the Giants are going to win it. I think the Patriots will be better than they were, but it's going to take 1 or 2 more off seasons to become a good team.
Man, I have no faith in the Patriots organization, and I wish nothing but hell on them. The way that they treated Gerard Mayo, using him as a clone just to get the rape room. Like, I thought that was so.
Yeah, that was ridiculous, and he didn't deserve that. He coached as well as you could with, again, the worst roster in the NFL. Like, it's not his fault, and he developed Drake May for you. It's crazy, nasty work.
Man, I hated that just the way it is. So I said it last night, just the way it's so tough for minorities to get these head coaching jobs in the NFL, and you just pretty much just spit on the one and done. like it was his fault. Like I
Yeah.
hope they rotten piss and shit. Like I
Yeah.
said,
Yeah, no, fuck him. Fuck him. Fuck him for Bill Belichick. Fuck him for the whole Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Fuck him for like a ton of reasons. But that just it solidified all of that. Fuck
Yeah.
Robert Kraft.
Definitely him. I hope they. Never mind. Let's keep it moving.
All right, Commanders.
Home game.
I mean, Commanders kind of the same deal, right? Like as I said for week 1, I think they're the better team, but their defense is still going to be below average, and ours will be elite. So, yeah, their offense is much better than ours. If I had to bet on it, I would probably bet that the Commanders sweep. But I think we could win the home game.
True.
I don't think it would be crazy for us to win one of them. I think that the odds for me are for whether the Commanders sweep or not are very thin. And I think that we could pull one of those games, especially if Russ plays at least solid.
No doubt.
Or I mean, if we have Dart starting by this point, which I think we should, because I think we should at least have an idea of what we have with him. I know a lot of people are saying that, let Dart sit the entire season, and go into the next offseason not knowing if we have a quarterback. That's ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
We can't go in with Arch Manning as a possibility or one of these other guys not knowing if Dart's any good or not. So he might be starting by then. We don't know. We don't know what he's going to look like if he does. But I think Commanders win, but I wouldn't be confident if I was a Commanders fan.
Not fair. Fair enough. Hey, division games, you know, that's what I love about NFL. It's like when you know each other so much, you do get great football. It's going to be very competitive. Week 16, I actually think you guys can get the Minnesota Vikings because you have to understand. I don't know what they are because there's no more Sam Darnold. I don't know what J.J. McCarthy is.
I don't know what J.J. McCarthy is either, but for me, I don't think you need to know what he is. And the reason why I say that in this particular situation is because we saw Kevin O'Connell take Kirk Cousins and make him look much better than he was.
Fair.
Then we saw him take Sam Darnold and make him look Sam Darnold was not the engine behind that team. Like, he had been arguably one of the worst quarterbacks in the NFL, like expected to be a backup until he retired. And then he goes into that system and all of a sudden he wins 14 games. Like, no, I don't buy it. So I think that if JJ McCarthy is just not historically awful, Kevin O'Connell with that weapons group led by Justin Jefferson, a rebuilt O-line with already a good tackle duo and now work done on the interior, and a defense that was already nuts, now having Javon Hargrave and Jonathan Allen added to it. I think that team is going to be really good, and I think JJ basically just needs to be a game manager, which is what he was in Michigan anyway.
Yeah, that's a fair statement. But
yeah,
I was just giving you guys the benefit of the doubt of being at home. So
yeah, I would love the benefit of the doubt, but if I have to be objective, and if I'm being objective, I think the Vikings win it. I think the Vikings are going to be a very good team next year. I think JJ will perform at least as well as Darnold did. I don't think there's any reason why he shouldn't.
Hey man, I just think you guys are just going to be scrappy. I mean, play spoiler at this point in the season. Who cares?
I want us to have as little wins as possible. That's where I'm at, because I want that first overall draft pick that we should have gotten this year.
Stop. Week 17. You're going to Vegas. Viva Las Vegas.
Okay, Vegas. I think that the Raiders are going to be a solid team. I don't think they're going to be a great team. Their defense, although they've done moves to it that I've liked, I really liked them getting Darian Porter in the draft. Max Crosby and Christian Wilkins are still a great duo, and I think Christian Wilkins will be better than he was last year. They got some other guys on the defensive line. I think that the Raiders will be a good team. I don't think they'll be a great team. I think the Giants win this, and I think the reason why is because Geno is solid, and their defense might be okay, but I don't think there's anything about the team that's great, really, aside from their tight end and their running back, and everything else is just kind of average to below average. Whereas again, we'll have an elite defense. I think Russ and Geno are probably at this point in their careers not that far from each other. I think Geno's a little better. I don't think he's going to be like as good as he was in his first year in Seattle. He'll be good still. But he'll still be good. I think that Geno's better, but I don't think the gap's crazy. I think the gap in the defense is going to be crazy. And I think that's going to be the reason why the Giants win. I know I keep going back to that, but that's because that's like the good thing about the Giants. So if we win, it's going to be because of our defense, not because of our offense.
Heard that. And finish the season off with the Cowboys. I actually think you guys get this game because Cowboys probably won't it won't matter to them, and you guys just get it off of just being it last week of the season.
Yeah, they all trying to prove like, don't fire me. Here's me winning a game. I mean, like what we talked about, the Cowboys' run defense. Dak coming off of an injury. The coaching is probably not going to be good with Schottenheimer. I don't really have any faith in him as a head coach. I think the team has some good pieces to it, but it is in a really messy position. I think it's going to be kind of a mess. They have some really good players on it, but I don't know if the overall team is going to work well together with the bits of it that are missing and the coaching. So I think the Giants take at least one from the Cowboys, but they could sweep the Cowboys. I wouldn't be that shocked if we swept the Cowboys.
If you guys swept the Cowboys?
If the Giants swept the Cowboys, I would not be shocked. But if I had to bet, my prediction is we split, but I think we could sweep them.
Just real quick and just for time's sake, how do you feel about the other teams in the NFCs? We won't go over through those schedules. Because I don't want to keep you too late tonight.
Yeah.
Just kind of give me your quick thought process on the rest of the division.
Okay, so Eagles. I mean, all like the main pieces, like they lost Mackay, they lost Josh Sweat, and they lost Milton Williams. And they lost a couple of guys, but the overall roster is really deep and really loaded. As much as I hate it, I don't think there's a reason that they're going to all of a sudden be bad. They're still going to be one of the better teams in the NFL for sure. Are they going to be as dominant as they were last year? I don't know, but I think that they're at least a 12-win team, probably 13 or 14-win team. I don't love a lot of the rookies that they brought in, but I don't think that they're going to need to rely on them much anyway. They'll be able to give them time to develop. So yeah, I mean, I think the Eagles are still going to be one of the better teams in the NFL. Commanders, like I said before, they're my Bengals of next year, where it's going to be all offensive shootouts because the defense can't get stops. I don't think they're going to be as good as they were last year. I do think that was kind of fluky. But I do think they're still going to be good. I think I kind of have them around like an 8 or 9-ish win team, 10 as a ceiling, 7 as a floor range. Giants, I have a little bit below that. I think I picked them to have about 6, somewhere between 7 and 5 wins as a range. And Cowboys, I think, will probably be around them, but even worse. And Bobby, listen, bro, your boys are in Cancun right now. Your boys went overseas. They were outsourced, just like all the factories in Michigan. So all the auto parts
This is wild.
factories in Michigan. Those auto parts factories, they went overseas just like your boys.
No.
So I think you should chill. I think that's in your best interest.
Oh, this is wild. Oh man. I love it.
And yeah, the Cowboys are gonna be bad.
Damn. Like no faith. Well, I mean, it's Brian Schottenheimer. Okay, so what I will get, it is Brian Schottenheimer. I think he's gonna be very predictable.
Yeah.
He's gonna be very predictable.
Yeah. Dak is a solid quarterback with a good team around him, but he's coming off an injury, and I don't think you can rely on him to be a great quarterback. Their run game still has significant questions. I'll get to Bobby after my analysis. They got a great wide receiver duo, and they got what I think is going to be a really good edge duo. They got great corners. They got pieces, right? But I don't know how much of a full team that they have. And I think that's the reason. I think they're going to be bad. I don't think they're going to be like dirt bad. Like, I'm not predicting them to like 3 wins or anything, but I think that my guess is about like 5 to 6 wins as a range.
Oof. Hey, Brian Schottenheimer there's nothing innovative about him. That's all I'm saying. Take that as you may. But hey, man, I'm gonna get you out of here, big dog. Hey, I ain't forget. Hey, my brother passed a bar, bruh. Yeah, put that in your pipe, smoking.
Right. Yeah, Bobby.
Yeah.
Smoke that shit.
Smoke that. Well, we gonna get up out of here. You know what it is. Holla at my man Panther on ass if you need some audio needs. Holla at my guy Randy right there on Instagram, IG. You heard me. Y'all know where to find me. I.O.W Sports Network. Tap in with it. Twitter, KC Wildcard Mar. And with that, another crazy Taco Tuesday with the man Randy Weber is in the books. And until next Tuesday, hey, peace and love. We out of here. Holla.
Yeah. Silent Hill TDS, what's up? Yeah, come on. I.O.W Sports Network, late night edition. Let's go. Come on.
We about to raise the bar. Wild card Mar. Everybody grab a seat, cause you know we about to spark. Late night sports talk. Modelo, cigar. Man, you don't wanna start. Wild card Mar. We